The Stateline Bridge Rd, known locally as Satan's Bridge Rd, is just off the beaten path of a small town in southern Virginia called Danville. Danville was founded in 1792 and has a rich history of tobacco and was a holding point by the Confederacy during the American Civil War. The name comes from the massive Dan River that flows through the city and down into North Carolina. However, there's one bridge that is the interest of today's video. Legend has it that over 100 years ago, a man had tied a noose to the bridge and plunged himself over the edge, dangling above the Dan River as he died. His body was left there, as the roads were not commonly traversed back then, and he wasn't found for days after he had passed. They say that his ghost still haunts this bridge and the road itself, leading to occultists, thrill seekers, and YouTube paranormal investigators to visit the bridge. It is also worth noting that there were reports of hooded figures wearing black robes stalking the woods around Satan's Bridge, adding an extra layer of fear and danger. While doing research on this topic, I called the Danville Visitation Center to see if they had any more information, and this is what I heard.
Danville Welcome Center.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I've got a sort of a weird question. I'm a journalist doing a story on a local Danville folklore, and I was wondering if you could give me any information and if you'd be willing to let me use this phone call in my report.
You would find more information at the Danville Public Library, but what was the folklore you were wondering about?
So I've been researching this phenomena on the Stateline Bridge Rd that connects North Carolina and Virginia.
Yeah.
Judging by your laughter, I assume you've heard of this.
I've heard of it, but don't know the location, and I've never actually taken a vehicle there to test this folklore. Gosh, you know, I would say you almost need to talk to somebody like a local historian.
Yeah, that was my next question. Is if there's a historians guild or something similar,
Like somebody 70 years plus. um, it's sort of before my time, but I'm trying to think of a local historian, but I don't have phone numbers for these people. Some of them are very elderly. They have books here in our center, but...
Could you give me their information? I could try to track them down.
I'm trying to think of maybe Gary. He's someone I have spoken to here at the Welcome Center.
Okay.
I don't have his phone number, though. Danville might have its ghost stories, but that's sort of a county, sort of a teenage folklore rumor kind of thing. And I just will say this, I never went there, so I couldn't say anything about it other than it was just a rumor and folklore.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You are certainly welcome, and good luck on your search.
Alrighty, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Now that I had a name for the local historian, I jumped back on Google and tried to find more information about this guy. Oddly enough, my search led me to the last capital of the Confederacy, the Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History.
Hello, Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
Very busy. What do you need?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a better time that I can call you back?
What is this concerning?
I'm looking for an exhibit curator by the name of Gary.
Yeah, he's not in right now. Would you like to email me your contact information, and then I will pass that along to Gary?
Yes, that will be perfect. Is that the info? It's been 3 weeks since that phone call, and Gary hasn't replied to my emails or answered any of my phone calls. Due to that, I've decided to keep his full name out of the video. Regardless, Tony and I are going there. Hey guys, this is Chris. Tony's behind the camera and also the ridiculously bright flashlight. Yes, I'm bald now. However, we are back at Stateline Bridge. I think the last time I was down here was like 2 weeks ago. You might have seen that footage already, I'm not sure. But we're back here at nighttime and we're gonna see what's going on. See if we can see any hooded masked figures in these woods here. Maybe the woods up there behind Tony. Tony, show them this. Maybe the woods up there, hiding some...
You can't really see the woods.
Hiding some people? Oh, no, you can't. Well, you can see that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, also...
It's very dark.
First time with this new camera, so if anything looks out of whack, it's probably my fault. So...
Okay, I can kind of see the river.
Damn. So that's just a straight 14, 15 foot drop into the river.
Whew. Well, we're pretty close. We're pretty close to the bridge, though. I feel like we might be able to get...
How much do you want to try to traverse?
Well...
In the dark. I mean, that's pretty thick.
Yeah, if we can go... I mean... Maybe we can try some stuff from right here, and it'll pick up.
Yeah, well, we don't know what side of the bridge he hung himself on.
Yeah.
So... You wanna give it a gander?
Yeah, let's test it out. What are you gonna try out here?
I was gonna take the camera. So
okay.
You could try the ghost box.
Okay. All right.
Let me take my phone out of my pocket. Put it in the camera bag.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right.
Over. Oh, over your head. Yes.
Okay. Oh, bugs.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Alright, so I can see you pretty good. You want to go ahead and grab your phone? Oh.
Let me take the big light. Alright, let's see if this works.
Alrighty, so Tony, talk us through some of the, like how this app works.
Well, it's pretty simple. It uses, I think, the camera to detect motion for this part of it. And then the EVP, it's just a tape recorder. And you're hoping to catch, yeah, you hear that?
The water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody's swimming.
Yeah, it does.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that 100.
In the water.
That 100% sounds like somebody swimming.
Are there like bears in here?
I fucking hope not.
Should I just continue?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, so there's a motion detector, EVP, which is a tape recorder, and you're hoping that the ghost can get its voice recorded on it. And then EMF, which is, I don't know how it's supposed to work, but it's supposed to detect electromagnetic frequencies, which I guess the idea is that that detects ghosts' presence or whatever.
Alright.
It's weirding me out.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's getting any closer, so that's fortunate. But if it starts to sound like somebody getting out of a pool, I am dipping.
Yeah, we're running. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's try the motion detector then.
Alrighty.
All right. Ready? So when it flashes like that, it's detecting motion.
Here, let me.
But it might. There's a lot of bugs in the air, so I think that might be part of the issue. Because we've got all these lights. I think bugs are attracted to the lights and stuff. But it's flashing more in this direction. So there's motion right in front of us. Okay. Well, what should we try next?
Ghost box it, man.
Ghost box it? Okay.
Should we try to talk to it?
Yeah, I think that's what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
Oh, this is in like Spanish or something.
Well, does the ghost speak Spanish?
I don't know. I don't
Maybe that's a good way to isolate if it's a radio coming in or...
Okay, sure, let's try it.
Alright.
So what do you... okay. Did you know the name of the person?
No.
Okay. Is there anyone here with us who is not alive? Did you hear that?
I did.
I couldn't make out what it said, but what did you think?
It didn't sound like a coherent word.
Yeah. Okay. That sounded like yes.
I heard you.
You? Something you? It was a yes sound, yeah.
Is there a spirit or an entity currently trying to speak with us through this box?
What was that?
I have no idea. That was definitely words, though.
Yeah. Very talkative ghost.
God, seeing the fireflies freaked me out too.
I know. Okay, are the stories of someone hanging themselves here true? Sounded like no.
I didn't hear anything discernible. Did someone hang themselves by this bridge?
Are you listening real close?
Yeah. I got nothing.
Yeah. Okay. What else should we try here?
You want to try to go onto the bridge itself and try there?
I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to get there.
No, I mean like we walk back and we walk up the road. Like normal fucking people.
Oh. So like just on top of the bridge?
Yeah.
I thought you said under the bridge. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that.
Yeah, because I figured going under the bridge, I mean that's a 15-foot drop into water where there is something swimming.
Yeah.
Will you take the backpack?
Yeah. Broken bottles. That's great. Keep it classy, Danville.
You know what I'm not hearing right now?
What?
That splashing.
That swimming noise?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're too high up. I can't see shit.
No, me either. Neither can the camera. So we are right over the Dan River right now. Okay, those are fireflies. I was like, do you see that flashing over there? It's fireflies.
Okay. What do we want to try now?
You want to go back to the ghost box?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Is there a spirit with us now? Okay. Is it true that a man hung himself on this bridge? I thought I heard no again. It's almost like immediately after I asked the question.
That's so weird.
Okay. What else do you ask? Like,
is there somebody else here with us? Maybe try to speed it up.
Okay. What was that?
That sounded like somebody saying hi.
It did. Very clearly. Holy crap.
Were you saying hi to us?
Yes. Did you hear that?
I did.
Yes?
I did. Okay. All right. Entity or whoever is speaking to us, do you want us to leave? Sounded like no.
So, yeah. Well, I don't know or something.
Is something bad going to happen if we stay? I don't know what that is.
I couldn't make anything out.
So while we were driving back to my place, I thought about another like local story that I heard about, and you know, I figured instead of telling Tony by just himself, I'm going to tell it to everybody, and then maybe I can talk Tony into going there tonight. So there's a road called Mount Lanier Mill, or Lanier Mill, or Lanier Hill, or something like that. And on this road, there's a church with a memorial. And legend has it that the memorial is for a family who used to live in a house near this church, right? And one day, the patriarch, or the dad of the family, like went crazy and killed his family and their dogs by lighting the house on fire. Now, the legend says that if you go to this memorial and you sit on top of it, you'll eventually hear dogs barking, and you'll hear the kids screaming, and you'll smell the smoke. And they say that if you stay there for too long, the dad will eventually come for you as well. Tony, it's about 10 minutes from where we are.
Oh, so, okay. So is this... I'm unclear on this a little bit. Is this thing... is the church built on where the house was?
I don't know.
Or...
in essence of honesty... Take a left here.
Okay.
In the essence of honesty, I've only seen one report about this... this happening, and it's on the blog spot where I got a lot of information about the Satan's Bridge.
Okay. So,
I haven't heard anything else about it.
So what's the name of the church?
I don't know. The post just says a church on Lanier Hill Road.
Oh, so there's no names and stuff.
No.
That we can even look into. It's just like a thing we gotta go look at.
Yeah, like that's literally all that there is.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time trying to find more information on this, and it all comes back to that blogspot post.
Okay.
I've talked to some locals, I've talked to professors, even the Danville Visitation Center.
Really?
And they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Huh. Okay.
So it's 10 minutes away. You're driving, so I'll let you choose.
Okay.
It'll be cool. It'll be a 2-for-1 special.
I guess after that, I just hope it's not like in another middle of nowhere country road with no light. Like, I don't know if my nerves can handle 2 of those things in one night.
Well, maybe it won't be so bad.
Yeah, maybe. Well, okay. All right, let's go and just, even if we don't stay, we can at least scope it out for a future video, possibly.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, I guess let's go. Do I just keep going straight here?
You're gonna take a left.
Okay.
At about 1.5 miles.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cut here, and we'll see you guys when we get there. Yeah, this looks like it's been kind of beat with time.
It's kind of weird that it doesn't have any sort of inscription.
No, there's nothing, and there's like no door or anything. It's just I wonder if it's hollow.
I wonder if it's just like some kind of infrastructure thing for the church, and people just made up a story about it. You know what I mean?
Well, do you want to sit here for a little bit and see if we hear dogs barking?
I'm not gonna sit on it. You can sit on it.
Sit on it.
Do that.
Sit on it.
That's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
I mean, I guess.
Isn't that what the thing said?
Well, yeah, but that's third-hand information. It's coming from their mom.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the information we have. So.
Yeah, but she could be a fucking liar.
Then why are we even here?
I hope this place doesn't have cameras, or if it does, I hope they're at least cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to hurt anything. Okay. All right, how long are you going to wait for? There's a bunch of cars passing by and stuff too, so it's kind of like you know, look like a couple of weirdos messing around in this churchyard. At least there's a light out here.
Yeah, the parking lot light and the street light, or the
Sign, yeah.
I'm so spooked I can't speak. It's like I sit on this thing and the words just come right out.
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know.
Alright, you hearing anything?
All I hear are the frogs.
Yeah.
Which I assume you hear as well.
Yeah. What if I was like, no?
Don't fuck with me like that. Alright guys, so we've been here for, say, about half an hour.
Yeah.
Tony's phone is dead, my phone is dead. But we've been here for a while, and I've sat on this thing the whole time. I laid down on it. I haven't heard anything, other than the moaning that I heard earlier, which could have been a car passing on Mount Cross or something like that. But it seems like this one's a dud, unfortunately.
Wait. For a second, I thought I kind of heard something that could be like a dog yip.
I didn't hear it.
But it might be a house down there, I don't know.
Maybe so. But not smelling any smoke, not hearing any kids screaming, not hearing any dogs barking. Certainly no man has showed up to take me away or whatever whatever.
I'll be right back.
Whatever the local story is. But there's another one.
Gave it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, we gave it a shot.
It was a 2 for video.
You know, yeah, we figured that since it's been so long since we put something out, we wanted to do a little bit extra for you. So we've investigated the Stateline Bridge in Danville and the Lanier Mill Road Church. What do you call this? Memorial?
Yeah, I guess. It might just be a... Who knows what it is, because there's no inscription.
Right, and something that's worth noting is that I haven't found anything else about this.
Yeah.
It's just been from that one blog spot.
That one person.
Yeah, that talks about their mom coming here just that one time when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
So I keep just hearing stuff behind me, and I'm ready to get my phone.
Yeah, alright, let's roll.
So, pitter patter.
Alright.
So first things first, we're going to talk about Satan's Bridge.
Well,
Where do you even start with this one?
yeah, I don't know.
I think since that happened all a couple hours ago,
Yeah.
I've definitely cooled down a lot. You know, I'm not super spooked anymore. But something that just gets me is that when we were like in that little wood line, and out of nowhere we just heard.
But no, yeah, the sound of something swimming in the river. I don't know how much that got picked up on the camera, really.
I hope it did.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope
because it wasn't... Because, okay, when we first got to the tree line, there was just a normal sound of river water rushing.
Yeah.
Right? Like a steady whoosh, right? And then out of nowhere, we heard a sound exactly like someone getting in the water.
Yeah.
And then the sound of like someone swimming in the water.
Like splashing around, like...
Yeah. It was insane. And it wasn't a constant enough sound to be like a natural sound of the river.
Yeah, like it didn't
I mean?
sound like there was like a log in the river that water
Right.
was brushing up against. Like it sounded like
something moving in the water.
like I don't know how to. And then we're sitting there talking on the bridge for a second, and we just hear that like thunk. Like it just man.
Because it didn't sound like a naturally occurring something. Like
we heard the same noise, but we heard it coming from different places.
Yeah.
Like that is creepy.
Like kind of different directions. Yeah.
Yeah, different directions.
When we got back up to the road after we came from the river, we're standing there. I don't know what we were talking about, and all of a sudden, there's like Chris said, like it sounded like someone hit a metal oil drum with a hard wood stick or like
Another metal pipe.
A metal pipe or something.
Yeah.
And it was just one. It wasn't like it was just one thunk, metal thunk sound, and nothing else.
Right.
And so
we were about to call it there.
Yeah, we were.
Because that didn't sound like an animal thing. That sounded like a human being.
Yeah, hitting something.
Yeah, being out there being spooky, and that almost made us dip.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we were down at the tree line, we tried out a few gadgets.
Mm-hmm.
I spent like a couple bucks just on the Google Play Store. Picked up this app that's got some like ghost finding stuff. So there's one thing you see in the video is motion detector, which we used, and it was lighting up in a particular direction, but there were also a lot of bugs around because it just uses the camera to sense motion. So it's probably just bugs. And then there's a EVP, which is basically just a tape recording that you ask questions and then you wait to see if to give time for a response. And then afterward, when you listen to the recordings, there's supposed to be sometimes like recording of ghostly voices and responding or whatever that you don't hear at the time. So we tried. And then there was the ghost box. And then the ghost box, yeah. And we tried the ghost box down the river, kind of close to the river bank, and then we tried it on the bridge, on top of the bridge itself. And when we were down at the river, we didn't really think we heard too much, except.
No. I 100% believe that I heard something say you, or some kind of other word starting with Y, and it was a one-syllable word.
Yeah, I thought it was yes at first because it's so quick, and I thought so. It was like I heard a Y sound.
I feel like if we go back and listen to that, there's a second word in there.
Maybe, yeah. And yeah, I mean, if you guys hear the stuff on the footage, if you hear anything we missed, because when we were there, like, it kind of just sounded like a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
With the exception of that, down to the riverbank. Now, up on the bridge was a whole other situation. We heard a bunch of stuff that we thought
could have been coherent.
Could have been something. Some of it sounded like really long strings too. Yeah. We couldn't make out what it was saying.
So here's the interesting thing about the ghost box. So what it does is there's a setting on it, and it'll flip through radio broadcasts every 100 milliseconds. We tried it down to 75, I think, at one point to make it
go a lot faster. 25, and that was too fast.
Okay. So, and what it was doing was going through Spanish broadcasts backwards, right? So if we heard English, we feel like that's a pretty good indication that it's not a radio broadcast, right? And we heard very, very clear yes, no, I don't know answers.
Yeah.
And sometimes we didn't hear anything. Like when I asked, is something bad going to happen to us if we stay, we didn't hear an answer.
Yeah.
And that to me means go.
No answer is kind of, There were a few instances where I thought I heard no, but it was like kind of low and quieter. And it was right immediately after the question was done being asked. It'd be like a low, like no. But then we heard some pretty clear, like I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, that was.
Both heard, I don't know, like a long sentence. I mean, long sentence for these kind of things.
Right.
Some yeses, and then some long strings. That like. Abnormally long strings of something that sounded like could have been something, but I don't know.
At the moment, I think I was certainly too psyched out maybe, to hear a lot of like a long string of coherence.
Yeah.
But maybe with a less adrenaline fueled mind, it'll be a lot easier.
Right.
Like Tony said, if there's anything that you guys heard, please let us know in the comments. You can reach us both on Instagram. We answer DMs and all that stuff. So let's talk about the church.
Yeah, so the church, secondly, we just kind of on the fly decided to swing by there pretty late. And I don't know, I mean, the source on this one was kind of very, very urban legendy, because it was like, from what you were telling me, it was like this one girl's mom told her something about this.
Yes. So
no names.
Right. I found a random blog spot. I think it's called danvillehaunted.blogspot.com, and I was looking through some of their other posts. That was when I was actually researching Satan's Bridge, and I want to look at more of their posts and see if there's other things that we can look at. Yeah. But there wasn't any mention of any names. They didn't mention the family that had lived there. And when we got to what we think is the memorial that they're talking about in the story, there was no placard. It didn't say anything. It was just an image of a cross.
And It was in a weird spot.
Yeah, it was like in a parking space almost.
Yeah, like...
It was weird.
You know how they have... there's like parking spaces and then they have a section that's like a bunch of diagonal lines?
Yeah.
It was that, but then at the end of it was just this weird brick rectangle with a little roof. And it was even at an odd angle in comparison to the building.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really stuck out and it was just weird.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking that it was, to me it seemed maybe like this was just some quirk of like how they built stuff, and it's some kind of like...
Maybe it's like a well house or something.
Yeah, well house, a power relay, something, and they just built this thing around it, and then...
To make it look prettier.
Yeah, and then kids saw it and thought it was odd looking, because it is odd looking.
Yeah. And
the kids just started making stuff up about like, and they just snowball the whole story about...
Right.
Yeah. Because without any sources of... Because, the claim that someone did this kind of horrible thing of like burning... That
would be documented.
Yeah, there'd be newspaper articles.
And I couldn't find anything except for this one website.
Yeah. So that's what kind of leads me to believe that it was just like a kid's urban legend that they all psyched each other up with or whatever, and yeah, I think it was probably just made up by kids.
Yeah. So I sat on top of the memorial for at least 35 minutes. I laid down, I closed my eyes, just listening for dogs barking, trying to smell smoke, hearing kids scream. I heard nothing.
Yeah, that one was a bust.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. I think that's just an urban legend that the kids go on about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that about wraps it up. You have anything else to say?
No, I think that covers the night.
But for now, what you can do is, if you like the video, you can like it, you can subscribe. You can also follow either of us or both of us on Instagram. I am at Fat Che Guevara and Tony is at William A. Hood. And, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can DM us on there and we will answer. So thank you all so much for watching again, and we will see you hopefully in not a year.
Yeah.
The other one that Pacific Northwest Stories did that was really good is called Rabbits. It's about a girl who goes crazy playing a video game. They also did one called Tannis, which is terrible. It's like Metal Gear Solid level dialogue. Ugh. So the dude, that one guy that Alex always talks about, like the producer at the Pacific Northwest? So that guy, he does Tannis. And he's got like a hacker friend that they introduce in the black tapes. And she's like, yeah, I found this thing called the f***ing Babadook. And he's like, the Babadook? And she's like, yeah, it's a malevolent, it's a bad spirit. And he says, a bad spirit? And that's the dialogue. And it is so...
Psycho Menace.
So, exactly. Fucking Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Psycho Menace. Jeez.
Dante!
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad. So the black tapes and Rabbits has the Chris spooky podcast drama thing stamp of approval.